Welcome to Khetz Tutorials, and in this video I'll be doing question 29 from 1.3 exercises in James Stewart calculus. So the first question says, how's the graph of y equals to f of the absolute value of x related to the graph of f? So the answer to this would be that we only consider positive x values, and we reflect about the y-axis. So there's a difference between the absolute value of f of x and the absolute value of f of the absolute value of x. So the first one, this is what we had in a few previous questions. This is when you now allow your function, for example, if you have square root of x, then you're going to have this function. Then if you shift that down by 1, then it will now fall here. Then if you apply this absolute value there, you have to reflect that negative portion of it so that it looks like this in the end, right? So this is the absolute value of the whole function. But if you just have the absolute value of the x, which is in here, that's a different thing. If you just have the absolute value of the x in there, that's a different thing. And this is the case that we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with the case where only the x has the absolute sign around it. And that there means the following. It means that you only consider the positive x values, and then after considering them or finding the function that therefore, you're going to reflect that function about the y-axis. That's what this means. So in the next question, where we're asked to sketch y equals to sine of the absolute of x, that's exactly what we're going to do. So obviously, I'm just going to do a sketch. So I won't use actual values. So your normal sine would look like this. It would cross at 0, go up, down, and so on. And the same would apply on this side. So this is not what we're going to give as our sketch. We're only going to consider this side on the right, where we have positive x values. Then after considering this, we're going to reflect it about the y. So this is the y-axis. If we reflect this, then we just have a reflection of it like on this side. Looks like this, and that would be the answer. That would be the sketch that answers this question. We just considered this side where we have positive x values, and we reflected that about the y to have its mirror image as well. And the same applies for the last, or the same applies to the last question that asks us to sketch y equals to the square root of the absolute value of x. So we know that the square root of x would be, I just drew it not so long ago, but I just do it again. Square root of x would look like this. And as you can see, even in this, we're just considering the positive x values. But now that we have an absolute sign, we also are going to reflect these to this side. And that will be the sketch of y equals to the square root of the absolute value of x. So whenever you have such a case, you're only going to consider the positive side of the variable that you have in here. In this case, it's x. Then you're going to reflect that about the y. But if you ever have this case, then you're just going to reflect all negative y positions upwards so that all the y's are positive.